Hey everybody, Rob Hilditch here again with Harding's Your Improvement Company, Harding's Painting, with another episode of Brushstrokes of Success. Today we have Rachel. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks you for joining us. I'm excited about this one because most of the ones that we do are with our team,
Hmm.
and we get to learn about how they got involved with painting and franchising or whatever it may be. But you are a designer.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing that?
So I've been doing that since 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
And always in Calgary, or have you been?
Always in Calgary. Yeah. But
Perfect.
I do surrounding areas as well.
And so, what type? So the reason we have Rachel here today is because we use Rachel now recently, but just less than a year now.
About a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
You took over for another lady we were working with Patricia at
from
Colorbox.
Colorbox. Yeah.
Where you're doing our color consultations for us and consulting clients on what colors work for them, what don't work for them. So we're excited about that. I know you've done several projects with us so far.
Yes.
What got you into doing tell us all about what your design business is, I guess.
Okay.
Everything you do.
Sure. I started out, as I said, 2009, doing interior styling and home staging. That's kind of where the start was. And then about 2016, I got into specializing in also doing aging in place and working with mature clients.
Yep.
And color is a part of all staging, home design, and again, working with mature clients. So then I came here because I was actually doing a consultation for Patricia on her home.
Yeah.
And she was leaving the city of Calgary and loved working with you and your group and didn't want to not have a recommendation. So she kindly, having known how
Yeah.
I work, felt that we'd be a good match. And so she introduced us.
So tell me more about aging in place. Mm-hmm. That was the term you used, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me more about that. How is that specific for obviously elderly people or golden agers, as my mom likes to call them?
Yeah, no. Mature clients, really anyone that's transitioning and wanting, our studies show that at 55 plus, people are moving into what they would like to term as their forever home.
Yeah.
And so they want to be able to do all the renovations for the next 30 years to live independently and safely in their home. And it's a whole new world because they don't want to bring anything from their other home. They want all new. They're empty nesters.
Yeah.
They don't want the stuff from the past. They don't want to bring it forward. So they've got all kinds of ideas on the style of their home that they want, and they're able to do it.
So you help them with everything as far as the design is concerned. You get involved in
Yeah.
literally down to like accessibility too, or
Yeah,
or just
absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
The accessibility of it, making sure that they may have full mobility today, but because they want to live here for forever, we're looking at all the walkways, making sure they're big enough. Maybe we're making the door entrances a little bit bigger. We're doing zero lip on the showers so
Yeah.
that someday, any one of us could get hurt and need a walker for a few months even, having come out of the hospital or whatever. So the zero lip showers, we're looking at paint colors. There's a certain degree of LRV between the door casings and the walls that because our eyes weaken as we get older. We
Yep.
need at 60 3 times the amount of light that we did at 20 to see the same. So there's all kinds of things to make sure that they can live comfortably and independently and have a beautiful home. It doesn't have to look like a hospital.
I turned 50 in 3 weeks,
Okay.
and you have me scared now.
No. There are some beautiful aesthetics out there. And, people laugh at the idea of grab bars, but even builders are putting them in. Everybody wants stuff like that. So they're making them in 55 different colors. And,
Very
it's
cool.
no longer the chrome, it's matte black. Or
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and yeah.
And now you mentioned the acronym LRV. What does that mean?
The light reflective value of a wall color, so it's
Okay.
brightness or lightness. So a white would be anything over 80 or 85, and a black would be 10 or less. So we look at the home, which way it's facing, how many lights there are, windows. In the home, when we're picking a color, if someone shows me a picture and they're looking at a really, really dark wall similar to the one behind you and they want the entire room covered in that,
Yeah.
I'll probably go a little lighter to get the exact same effect because, say, there's no windows in it.
And it's
in
funny
that
when you
space.
talk when you talk about how the reflective light and everything else. The program we use for this podcast, when I segment it into little portions,
Yes.
a lot of the times I talk way too much. Sometimes it won't pick me up because I'm behind. I'm always sitting on this side.
Yeah.
And it always picks up the person on that side
Because of the
because of the light wall.
Yes.
And it's just
yeah,
to
it
your point.
determines a lot.
Yeah.
Like people think it's just undertones or, but there's a lot that goes into it. You know,
Yeah.
aside from the fixed elements in the room, it's the amount of windows. Which way are we facing?
Yeah.
You know, that'll determine it. I'll pick on the dark color behind you. It determines what shade of that color we're
Yeah,
going to pick.
it's just like when we're painting a ceiling.
Exactly.
And you have the light coming in. If the window's on this side and the light's coming in, we want to roll with as opposed to against, so you don't see the ridges.
Yeah.
And it's that. I mean, that's at its simplest version of us trying to make sure that people don't see ridges in their own ceilings.
That's right.
But it's just the way it reflects. So that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
So one thing that we do here a lot, at least I do a lot in the marketing, is I play on the psychology of color. When we talk about, like, I don't know if you follow our Instagram or not, but
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of it recently, but we have a really good article on our blog about the psychology of color and how different colors make you feel, how they change your mood, and how they can literally change your life for certain people.
That's right.
And, coming from the restaurant industry, we were always about, well, we want oranges and reds because that inflicts the diet and gets their tummy going. But red will also can inflict rage.
Yes.
So it's, and yes, our logo is red. So tell me a bit more about the psychology of color and how you might use that in dealing with a particular client.
Sure. I'm just going to start with the red too and go back to the restaurant. You may already know this, but red also makes people anxious so they don't stay too long.
Exactly.
Which is why a lot of fast food restaurants had it or have it in their space as well. But yeah, I definitely think about that. I look at whether it needs to be a calming space. Is it a bedroom? Is it a dining room? So what room is it? Which way it faces, like I said. So I tend to not use a lot of red unless the client really wants it because of those exact reasons that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I love that green is a big color these days because it's all about biophilic design, which is also bringing the outside in. And part of designing for wellness is picking colors that make people feel connected to the earth and outside.
Do you think that a lot of that could be traced back to the whole, just the green movement? Is that something that's psychologically for us that we're because you're right, green is becoming this massive color. Green is the new gray.
Yes.
And
It's a classic.
And it's like, because you hear so much stuff in the media and in the world now about green, is it something psychologically that people are just attaching themselves to because of it? Or is it just that it's just a color that everybody loves?
I think there's definitely that as well, and it really came through when we were all stuck inside, when it really started to come to the forefront and we needed to get outside. And not everyone can do that due to, I'm going to go back to working with mature clients who spend 95% of their time indoors, which is not healthy. So being able to bring that color inside is a really good idea in homes where people don't have the ability or the access to get outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
That's cool. My wife's favorite color is green. She's got me doing a green door on our house this spring.
Okay, and it's one of the few colors that almost every green matches. Almost.
Really?
Yeah, every shade of green. It's one of the very, very few colors. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when you go into a client's home, like say in particular for us, when we're doing a color consult, what is some of the things that you might go through to figure out what the best colors are? Like, you look at what they already have, the furniture that they have, what makes best. Like, is there questions or things you get to do to know the client a little bit better so you can figure out what color fits with them?
Absolutely. So if we're doing a color consult for people that have just moved in or they plan to be there for 5 years or more, then
Yeah.
it's all about their preference as well as the fixed elements in the room. So in this room, we've got different shades. We've got some blue, we've got some gray, we've got some charcoal. I would play off of that, or I would complement it with the same colors, especially ones that are the same undertone.
Yeah.
However, if the client's a seller, a home seller, they're about to sell within 3 years or less, and I do a lot of that are moving within 6 months,
Yeah.
then it really doesn't matter what personal preference is. So it's all about what home buyers want, and it's one of the things I love
Neutral.
to study is
Yeah.
what are buyers looking for, because it changes all the time.
And I'm glad you said that. I did a video series podcast like this with one of Attila's realtor friends, Paul.
Nice.
And we talked about the colors and from a painter's perspective.
Yes.
Now we generally have an okay eye. Now if you look at this room, clearly I don't. But
That's good.
most of our guys that actually do this for a living, they've been doing it for so long, they've really picked up on it and they know what
Yeah.
they're talking about. I sit in an office all day, so I don't get those opportunities as much. But we talked about like the grays and the neutral tones and how, when you're selling a house, it's always great to bring it back to neutrals.
Yes.
But you're seeing a trend nowadays, especially with the hot market, to make it that much hotter. People are adding some feature walls and some color to the house to try and help sell it.
They are. We do still stick to neutrals because the goal, it's marketing. It's
Yeah.
not decorating when we're doing when we're getting ready to sell. We're merchandising a product for sale.
Yeah.
So we're looking to appeal to the masses. So we still have to stay on trend. There's a fine line between being on trend,
Yeah.
being fun, and keeping that look and appealing to the masses. But by far, with people that are not selling, color is coming back, and I couldn't be happier about
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
Because white on white on white in Calgary, when it's white outside and white inside, is actually quite a cool feeling. It's not a warm feeling in your home.
Yeah.
So yes, we are doing feature walls. We're doing a lot of baseboards and window casings and doors in different colors to the wall, and not just white, which is fun. And ceilings now are the fifth wall, as they're calling it, are
Really?
having color. Yeah, lots.
We are seeing that a lot as far as requests where people are like, especially like this color
Yeah.
on a ceiling.
Yeah, we're not afraid of it anymore.
Yeah,
Right?
whereas for many, many years it wasn't. You always kept that light color. And I mean, people now with like black doors.
Yes.
That seems to be the massive thing right now, like a gloss black door.
Yes.
We're having tons of
Interior doors, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
and
just
when we have them
exterior.
come through the shop and through the spray booth, I always try to get as much video as I can on the guys doing it, because you can't get a better impact.
Yeah.
Like from a before and after, going from a white door to a beautifully like just crisp, glossy black.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Are you seeing a lot of that then in some of the homes that you're doing?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Quite a
Okay.
few. Quite a
That's-
few colors.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So walk me through the process when we have a client that is looking for a color consultation, and so one of our painting managers or franchise partners will call you and say, "Hey, we've got this. There's a cost structure in place that we take care of, generally speaking." And so when you come into a home, what's kind of like a quick step-by-step that you would do with a client so that or the 6 people that are going to watch this can
Yeah.
figure out what they can expect?
Sure. So once I get all the information from one of the Hardings teams, and I get great information, I get exactly where it's been suggested or recommended to paint, and I even get some pictures ahead of time, which is always great.
Yeah.
And so I know what I'm walking into, and I can already start to look at the fixed elements. And I like to do pre-work before I go into a home and start to look at what I would suggest. And then once I get into the home and we have a discussion with the client on exactly what look and feel they're going for,
Yep.
then we can make recommendations. And sometimes that pre-work works out, and sometimes we go in a completely different direction, because it's all about the client. It's a collaboration, picking a color. Like it's one thing to say, oh, I would have painted that wall black, but they might hate black, even
Yeah.
though it would look fantastic. This isn't a magazine cover, it's their home.
Yeah.
So I'm very cognizant of the fact that I leave after making my professional recommendation and they're stuck looking at this, and I prefer they smile when they think of me and not swear.
Perfect.
So yeah, and the feedback's been great because it really is a collaboration. It's their home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We have the one saying that we use when we go into people's homes, and it's like, thank you for inviting us into your home.
Yes.
Because there's just so many people, and especially since the pandemic, but there's just so many people who just don't, like, I'm one of those guys. I don't like people in my home.
Yeah.
We had a contractor at our house today, working on the outside, and I'm sitting on my camera. Like, I'm just that paranoid guy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it's so endearing when somebody can say, hey, come on into my home, like, let's do this work, and have us in there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
There's a trust level, and you certainly help us build that trust when you're in homes with our clients and your clients.
Yeah.
Right? As yours or ours, and ours,
Yeah. That's right.
And so it's really nice to have a partner like yourself that it really exemplifies the same things that we do when we're just so happy to be in a customer's home, being able to help them.
Yeah.
And we're so happy to have a partner like you and like Patricia before.
Yeah.
And you've been able to jump in and fill her shoes so easily.
Thank you.
And it's been great working with you. So, name of the company is Diversa Designs Inc. Instagram, Twitter, anything like that you can share with our viewers?
We're definitely at Calgary Stager is one of our Instagrams, and Diversa Designs Calgary.
Diversa Designs Calgary.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you very much. I so much appreciate this.
Thank you for the opportunity and for working with me. It's
and
pleasure.
Vice versa. Thank you for working with us. I'm sure it's going to be a very long relationship. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Awesome. This has been another episode of Brushstrokes of Success with Harding's the Painting Company. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. Take care.